Super Lopez, a man that can fly, use laser vision, display super strength, and show everyone that even Superman can look pretty good in a mustache. This 2018 parody film started off as a comic strip in 1973, created by Juan Lopez, and was written by Francisco Perez. These two working together to make Super Lopez what he is today. A parody of Superman, but also of other superheroes like the Avengers, Justice League, and other pop culture characters. Super Lopez will go on to be a very popular comic strip in Spain over the years, and will eventually branch out to other kind of topics, like tackling drugs and environmental issues. Hey, with a honker like that, anything's possible. The film is about Lopez disguising himself as your average office worker, trying his best to blend in with society. But when his friends and family are in danger, he decides to no longer hide his true self, becoming the superhero and saving the day, while also electrocuting them in the process. And I gotta say, I really like this movie. For starters, it has characters that you get to know really well. There's Super Lopez's love interest Luisa, a bad-tempered person that takes crap for no one. You got Lopez, a guy that desperately wants to fit in and be accepted by others. And Jaime, Lopez's friend and boss, who was socially awkward and is a bit of a creep. Each character goes through some sort of arc in this movie, making it to where no one stays one note, so that the characters are actual people that change, and not just your common character stereotypes. Lopez by the end of the movie isn't afraid of his superhero side, Jaime finds friendship with Lopez, and Luisa is a bit more understanding. But besides characters evolving, the movie's also good for being grounded in reality, making the jokes be about how one might actually act if they were a superhero. To the actual ridiculousness of wearing costume to the responsibility of protecting others, Lopez has a hard time getting to the heroic stuff right away, trying to avoid it any way he can. Lopez thinking that being a superhero is scary and at times kind of dumb, making his actions and reactions to the whole thing pretty funny and relatable. Speaking of funny stuff for a minute, I like to point out this little sex joke right here where it looks like, well, sex. But I'm just curious if this was supposed to be a stab on Man of Steel where the escape pods kinda look like dildos. I wonder. Anyways, I'd like to show you the villain of this movie, Aguita. She was sent to Earth by her father to find Super Lopez and kill him, so there wouldn't be any chance for him to return back to his home planet and save his people. Aguita does everything she can in the movie to impress her father by trying to locate Lopez, but everything she does is seen as a disappointment in his eyes. You can really tell that she's doing her best to get her dad's acceptance, but unfortunately all she gets are insults from him.
Eres una vergüenza para tu familia. A tu edad, la buena Úrsula ya había sometido a una galaxia entera. Tu primo Virgis tiene solo 18 años y ya lleva 2 genocidios en Alfa Centauro. En cambio tú, fíjate, cómo has dejado que este planeta siga así, vivo. Tan vivo que da asco. ¿Dónde está la lava? ¿El caos? Quiero volcanes por todas partes.
Todo el planeta está bajo mi control, aunque ellos no se den cuenta.
¿Y de qué sirve si no se dan cuenta? Eres como una mascota inútil, como una... No sé lo que eres, Agatha, pero desde luego, ojalá no fueras mi hija.
Though she doesn't take this abuse any longer, finally snapping back on her pops. In a pretty badass way if I do say so myself. Aguita is a really interesting villain that only turned evil due to daddy issues. A pretty unique backstory for the villain in comparison to typical bad guy motive of being I'm evil, so I'm just gonna do evil things. Which this kind of reminds me of another superhero movie, Shazam. Their bad guy has a terrible relationship with their father, the main characters are similar to Superman, they both have problems of fighting themselves, and they both make fun of the superhero genre. Kind of cool how similar both of these movies are. Two superhero movies that subvert the superhero genre, that don't really take themselves too seriously at all. Pretty interesting if you ask me. Anyhow, this is a really funny movie with great characters and an interesting take on the superhero genre that I definitely put on my list of good parody films. Lopez really also stands on his own for being your average Joe too afraid of getting out of his comfort zone, that I say he's his own character as well, and not just a parody of Superman. He stands out from the guy he's imitating, like Dick Steele from Spy Hard, a character that's far from just being your typical James Bond ripoff. Leslie Nielsen being eccentric and pretty funny in this film, playing up the character of a romantic spy that thinks of fun and creative ways to get out of trouble, while also being a smooth talker and a bit of an airhead. Really, this movie is far removed from its source material that it doesn't really do it justice to just call it a James Bond parody. And that's how I see Danny Rivera, the actor that plays Lopez in this movie, performance as well. He's your working man that has to attend his 9-to-5 job, while forced to stay for boring business parties. He takes the bus, he's scared of danger, and he pays taxes. This isn't really your typical Superman movie where the focus tends to be more on Superman and not Clark Kent, making Superman more of his identity rather than the man behind it. Well, the Zack Snyder ones anyways.
Power is the only law. You're all too weak to see the truth.
Well, I believe in truth.
Me llamo Super López.
No, Super Lopez is a guy first and a superhero second. He's someone that you can definitely picture in the real world. Overall, this was a good movie to watch and I definitely recommend it. This is far better than other parody films that mostly consist of reactive humor, where this weird thing happened, reaction, rinse and repeat. So if you want something more than that, then I say give Super Lopez a go. There was also a Super Lopez short in 2003, created by Enrique Gato, who later created Daddio Jones, inspired by Lopez's character designs. I just wanted to point this out. I find it kinda cool at how someone's work can help inspire them to create their own and unique thing. Either way, this movie is really good, but I'd like to hear your own thoughts. Did you like it? Did you hate it? I'm curious to see what you guys think. And if you like this video, give it a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, then subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.